Hello my dear students. So let's continue with our exercise 6b. So till yesterday we have seen till question number 7. So today we are going to continue with the remaining questions. Okay. The first question for the day. Two squares have sides x centimeter and x plus 4 centimeter. So basically there are two squares, and we know that in squares each side will be equal, right? So every side of a square will be equal, and in one of the square each side is x centimeter, and in another one the each side is given to be x plus 4 centimeter. Okay, now the sum of their areas will be this much. So you need to express this as an algebraic equation in x and solve the equation to find the size of the square. That means sum of the area means find the area of the first square, find the area of the second square. So area of the first square is going to be side square, that is x square, and the area of second square is going to be side square, that is x plus 4 whole square. So you just add the areas and the sum will be equals to 656. Okay, so you will do this sum by yourself. Fine. So we'll move on to the next question. Okay, so let's read the question very carefully, because from today whichever sums are being done here, they are quite tricky. Okay, so let's pay attention to the question well. So it is given the dimensions of a rectangular field are 50 meter and 40 meter. So there's a rectangular field. Okay, so you can take the screen of this to be the field, and this length is given to be 50 meter and this breadth is given to be 40 meter, right? A flower bed is prepared inside this field, leaving a gravel path of uniform width all around the flower bed. Okay, so within this field there's a rectangular flower bed, okay, leaving some space for a uniform path. Okay, now it is said that total cost of laying flower bed and graveling the path at rupees 30 and 20 per meter per square meter respectively is this much. What is the meaning of this? Let's understand. So cost of laying flower bed. So you want to lay flower bed at rupees 30 per square meter. Okay, so this first one represents laying flower bed, and the second one represents laying or graveling the path. Hope this is clear to you. So total cost is given to be 52,000. So you need to find what is the width of the gravel path. So let's try to understand this using this diagram. Okay, so the gray one is your gravel path, okay, and this green one is your flower bed. Okay, and this is your rectangular field whose length is given to 50 meter and breadth is given to be 40 meter, right? Okay, now let us take the width to be W here. Okay, so W represents the width. So that means since the path is uniform here, uniform width is given, so that's why this is also going to be W, this is also going to be W, this is also going to be my W. Now let us see what are the things given. So I don't know what's the length of my flower bed. Similarly, I don't know what is the breadth. So that's why I'm calling the length of the flower bed to be X, and Y represents the breadth of the flower bed. Is that clear? Okay, now if you have understood that much, let us see what are the things we need to write. So as I said, let W be the width of the gravel path. Okay, so it is given that the length of the rectangular field is 50 and breadth is given to you 40. Okay, now let the length and breadth of the flower bed be X meter and Y meter respectively. That's what I said just now. Okay, so whatever I have explained here, so same thing has been written here. Fine. So therefore we have, let's see what do we have from these many things. Now from here to here it is X, and from here to here it is W, right? Similarly from here to here is W. This is the width, this is also width. So that means if I add this width, this and this it will be x plus 2 times w. Yes, so because there are 2w here, 1w, 2w, so it will be from here to here, it's going to be x plus 2w, and that is equals to 50, because from here to here is nothing but the length, right? So therefore we have x plus 2w equals to 50. Okay, and let me call this as equation 1. Similarly, from here to here is w, from here to here is w. So from here to here it is going to be w plus y plus w, which will be y plus 2w, and it's going to be 40. Okay, let me call this to be equation 2. Fine. So let us see what are the other things given here. So let us find the area first. So area of this rectangular field, this field is given by length into breadth, that is 50 into 40, which turns out to be 2000 meters square, right? So this will be my area. Fine. Now area of this is going to be x into y. Yes or no? Okay, so we know that area is given by length into breadth, so that's why the area of this flower bed is going to be x into y. Fine. Now let us find what is the area of this gray part. So we all know that the area of this gray part can be found using area of bigger rectangle, that is rectangular field, minus area of smaller rectangle, that is area of flower bed. Okay, so let's see how much is this going to be. Now area of rectangular field is how much? This is 2000, so it will be 2000, and this is xy, so it will be 2000 minus xy meter squared. Okay, so pause the video to note this much. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we have cost of laying the flower bed. Okay, flower bed, and the gravel path is given to be how much? 52,000, right? So it is going to be 52,000. So this is nothing but area into cost. Okay, so we are seeing the first part. So area, that means area of this, okay, into cost of laying per square meter, which are already given here. Okay, so we have cost of laying flower bed plus gravel path is given to be 52,000. So let me repeat once again if you have not understood. So we know that cost of laying this and this together, okay, cost of graveling this and laying this is given to be 52,000. Okay, and this is calculated on the basis of your per square meter, right? So it is given that if you want to lay this flower bed for 1 meter square, you need to pay rupees 30. Okay, and if you want to gravel this path, you need to pay for 1 meter square rupees 20. Is that clear? So cost of laying the flower bed, that is this, and cost of graveling the path altogether is given to be 52,000. Okay, now let us see what will be the cost of laying the flower bed only. Now we know that the area of this flower bed is how much? It is xy, because it is x, this is y, so area of this flower bed is xy. Fine. And if you want to lay rupees 20, if you want to lay this flower bed, then for 1 meter square you need to pay 30, but we have got xy meter square, right? So that's why total money will be 30 into xy only to lay the flower bed. Okay, so it is 30 into xy. Now we have just laid the rectangular flower bed. We have to see what is happening with this as well, right? So the cost of graveling this path for 1 meter square is given to be rupees 20. But what is the area of this? So area of this is given to be 2000 minus xy. So that's why it will be 20 into 2000 minus xy. Okay, so let's simplify this. So you'll get this much. Okay, now some things will get cancelled. So after doing cancellation and simplifying further, you'll get xy to be 1200. So all the steps you have to show by yourself. Now we know that using 1 and 2, okay, so from 1 and 2, so if you have seen from 1 we have x equals to 50 minus 2w, Okay, so from 1 x is equals to 50. This 2w goes over there, so 50 minus 2w. Similarly, y will be equals to 40 minus 2w. Okay, so if I use the values of x and y, then I'm going to have 50 minus 2w instead of x, and instead of y I'm writing 40 minus 2w. Now simplify this and arrive at this particular quadratic equation. Okay, so if you want to take out something common and divide, that also can be done, and after factorization you will get this much. That means the value for w will be 5 and 40. Okay, so the width will be either 5 meter or 40 meter. Okay, so let's see which one is possible. Obviously width to be 40 meter is not possible because the breadth itself is 40, so that's why my value for width will be 5 meter. Okay, so if width is 40, then x, that is this one, is going to be 50 minus 2w, which is already there, and when you evaluate this will be minus 30, which is not possible. That also can be one reason. So that's why the width of the gravel should be 5 meter, not the 40. Okay, so pause the video to note down. Let's have a look at this question. So question says, an area is paved with square tiles of certain size and the number required is 128. Okay, so there's a area to be covered with square tiles of certain size. Okay, and the number of tiles required is 128. Now if the tiles has been 2 centimeters smaller each way, that means if each side of the square is decreased by 2 centimeter, then the same area will be covered by 200 tiles. Okay, so it is said if the tiles have been 2 centimeters smaller each way, 200 tiles 2 centimeters smaller from each way. Okay, so the same thing has been again repeated here, so we'll omit this. So if the tiles had been 2 centimeter each way, 200 tiles would have been needed to pave the same area. So find the size of the larger tiles. So let's try to understand using these two cases. Okay, so suppose I need to cover this much space and I need these many tiles. Okay, there are square tiles used here. Now let me remove the tiles. Okay, so you just count how many tiles are there for right now. Okay, so we have got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so 7 into 5 is 35. So 35 tiles are used here. Okay, now I'm going to remove the tiles. So tiles are removed. Okay, now I'm going to cover this same area with smaller tiles. Now obviously you can see that there are more number of tiles here. Yes, so that's why the same thing is happening here as well. When it was when it was a bigger tiles, then 128 tiles were used. When the same square tiles are reduced by 2 centimeter, then we are using 200 tiles. So obviously we need to use more number of tiles. So we have got these two cases now. Okay, so where earlier we have got bigger tiles and later we have used smaller tiles. Now let me call the each side of the square tiles for the bigger one to be x. Okay, x centimeter. Then in the next case this is reduced by 2 centimeter, so that's why this will be equals to x minus 2 centimeter. Okay, so you can pause the video to make a small diagram of it. Okay, so we'll go to the next part. Okay, so as I said, let the size of the larger tiles be x centimeter and the area is going to be side square, that is x squared. Fine. So similarly, let's find what is the number of tiles. Okay, so it is given that number of tiles to pave an area is 128. Okay, so if I use bigger tiles, then 128 tiles are needed. Is that clear? Okay, now if area of one tile is this much, then what will be the area of that bigger area which you are going to cover with the tiles? So it will be area of one tile into number of tiles. Is that clear? So area needed to be paved will be 128 into x square, that is 128 x squared centimeter square. So this is the area of this one, this rectangular part. Okay, so now let's go to the second case, that is the size of smaller size is equals to x minus 2, as I said earlier. Now the area of smaller tiles will be side square, that is x minus 2 whole square, right? Now similarly, we know that 200 tiles are needed to pave the area, so that's why area to be paved will be equals to 200, that is the number of tiles, into the area of each tile, which is x minus 2 whole square. Now obviously we have seen that both areas are equal, right? Yes, so that's why this is number 1 and this is my number 2, so both gives me the same area, right? So that's why, therefore, from 1 and 2 we have 128x squared equals to 200 into x minus 2 whole square. Okay, solve it and arrive at this quadratic equation, and you solve it. Okay, so you will complete it by yourself. Pause the video to note down. So the next question says, a farmer has 70 meters of fencing with which he encloses 3 sides of a rectangular shape pen, the fourth side being a wall. So in order to understand this, what you can do is you can think of a laptop. Okay, so if you open the laptop, the screen is like your wall. Okay, so whichever sides are left, that has to be enclosed. Okay, so you have to fence that much. Okay, so it is said that the area of the pen is given to be 600 square meter. You need to find the length of its shorter sides. Okay, let's begin this problem. So we have, let the length and breadth of the rectangular shape pen be x and y respectively. Okay, so from the given information, now since one of the part is left, okay, since one of the side is left because it is a wall, so that's why I should have x plus y plus x. Okay, so one of the part is left. Okay, so for example, I am leaving the side whose length is y, so that means that part is going to be my wall. Okay, so from here we have x plus y plus x gives me 2x plus y equals to 70, right? And also the area will be given by, if this is my x and if this is my y, and I'm assuming that there's a wall here, so there's a wall here, this x, this is my y, this is my x, so that's why x plus y plus x gives me 2x plus y, and the area of this rectangular shape pen is going to be x into y, and it is given to be 600. Now let us put the value of y from here. So from here y is equals to 70 minus 2x, this 2x goes over there, so it becomes 70 minus 2x. So if I do that, then I have x into 70 minus 2x equals to 600. Arrive at this quadratic equation, solve it. Okay, and from here I see that x will be 15 and 20. Okay, now if x is 20, let us find what is the value of y from here, which turns out to be 30. Okay, now if x is 15, then my y turns out to be 40, right? So the length of the shorter side is 15 meter, okay, when the longer side is 40 meter. Is that clear? So pause the video to note down. Okay, also the length of the shorter side is 20 meter. 20 meter if the longer side is 30 meter. Okay, so you can pause the video to note down these many things. Okay, so again there's a case of square lawn bounded by 3 sides by a path 4 meter wide. So we'll try to understand this using this diagram. So there's a square lawn. Okay, so there's a square lawn, this one, which is bounded by 3 sides. Okay, so 3 sides by a path. So this represents a path and this represents a square lawn, and the width of the path is given to you 4 meter each. Okay, and if the area of the path is 7 by 8, so area of this path is 7 by 8 of the lawn, find the dimensions of the lawn. So let's see how to find. Now let me call each side of the square to be x, so that's why the area of this is going to be x square, right? So the area of square lawn is going to be x square. Fine. Now the square lawn is bounded by this one. Yes, so let us see what is the dimension of, or what is the area of this one. So let's check that. So we have area of outer rectangle is going to be Okay, so from here to here is x, and from here to here is 4, right? So it will be from here to here is x, from here to here is 4, so x plus 4 will be the this part. Okay, so area of this will be x plus 4 into this part. So let's see what is this part. So from here to here is x, from here to here is 4, from here to here is 4, so 4 plus 4 is 8. So this and this gives me x plus 8. Okay, so this is x plus 4 and this is x plus 8. So that's why area of outer rectangle will be x plus 4 into x plus 8. Is that clear? Okay, now area of the path. So area of this path will be equals to area of outer rectangle minus this one. Yes, so what is area of outer rectangle? It is this much. Okay, so when you simplify it, you have to get this much. You will check this by yourself. Okay, minus x square. So we have to subtract area of the square as well to find the area of the path. So area of the path will be equals to area of the rectangle minus area of the square. So minus area of the square is x square. Okay, solve it. It will be 12x plus 32. Okay, so this is the area of the path. Now, according to the question, area of the path is 7 by 8 of the square lawn. That means this is the area of the path and this has to be 7 by 8 of the area of the lawn. Okay, so 12x plus 32 has to be 7 by 8 of area of the lawn, which is x square. Solve it. You'll arrive at this quadratic equation and you will complete it by yourself. Okay, let's go to the last question. Okay, so it is given that the area of a big rectangular room is 300 meters square. So you think of this screen to be your floor of the rectangular room and its area is 300 meters square. Now if the length were decreased by 5 meter, suppose if this length is decreased by 5 meter, so if the length is decreased by 5 and the breadth, that is this one, is increased by 5, then the area would be unaltered. That means area will still be the same. So you need to find the length of the room. Okay, so let me call the length to be x and let me call the breadth to be y. Fine. So let's calculate what is the area. So area is given by xy. X into y will be xy. That is xy will be equals to 300 because the area is given to be 300. Okay, so from here let me calculate what is y. So y will be 300 by x. Fine, let me call this as equation 1. Now what is happening? The new length is x minus 5 because the length is being decreased. Decreased means minus by 5. Okay, so new length is this much and my new breadth is given to be y plus 5 because it is increased by 5 meter. Fine. Now let us calculate the new area. New area will be length into breadth, that is x minus 5 into y plus 5, which turns out to be again the same as the area is unaltered. So let's put back the value of y from 1. Okay, so if I do that, so using 1 instead of y, if I write 300 by x, I'll get this much. Simplify it, you'll arrive at this quadratic equation. Solve it, you'll get the value of x to be 20 and minus 15. Obviously x is the length, so it cannot be negative, so that's why the value for x will be 20. Okay, so we have already found the length. Okay, so the length of the room is 20 meter. So pause the video to note down. Thank you very much.